Alright, hi. Welcome to a video that is going to give you some information about how to clear things, how to protect things, and how to alchemize things. So those are the three things that I'm covering in this video. And again, I'm making these videos to help you guys have a better understanding on how to utilize being able to do this stuff for yourself, because I'm not always going to be around. And I know that it is helping so many of you. And what Spirit keeps telling me is that you can do it. So they are utilizing me and my energy and my voice to be able to encourage you that you can do this work. Obviously, the choice is yours. Is it important enough to you? Do you feel like you're worthy to make it happen? And if you don't, the main thing that I can say is you just have to let that go. Because, I mean, think about it. Think about it. Little old me in little nowhere, Alaska. I am nobody special. And yet for some reason, I woke up one day realizing that I could change vibrations. And in being able to change those vibrations, I realized that I could pull pain and I could create healing opportunities for people. Why me? Who the hell knows? I have no idea. But here's the thing is, you can do this too. There is nothing that says you're not worthy or that you're not fully capable of being able to do this for yourself. I can understand if you're like having hesitation because you don't want to disappoint someone else. If I'm going, I want you to become a healer so you can help somebody else, I can understand your hesitation and some self-doubt because I went through that myself. However, I'm asking you to do this for you. You already know that it's helping. You already know because I'm telling you that you can do it. So all you have to do is make the choice to actually try. And with the tools and techniques that I'm going to give you, just try the ones that resonate with you. I'm going to give you a bunch of different things, but the thing is there is going to be certain ones that make sense. There'll be certain ones that resonate that you're like, yeah, there'll be certain ones that work. And sometimes there's ones that will work better than others depending on what it is you're trying to clear or protect or do. So just keep in mind, it's not a one size fits all. That's not how energy works. There can be lots of different things that you can do that will impact what it is that you're trying to change. So keep that in mind. Again, I am here to encourage you and let you know that you are fully capable. And now is the time, because Spirit is telling me to tell you, now is the time to start working on yourself. Self-care, self-love, self-healing. Okay? All right, so I'm going to start, I'm filming this direction because I'm basically going to start with my door, because I want you to have an understanding of what tools and techniques I use that help me. So I'm like, well, I'll just start at the door because that's kind of where my day always starts. Whenever I leave, I actually, and I don't know why I take my left hand, but I just do. And when I leave, I will take my left hand and I will throw an image of a red color up over the door. And then I walk out, throw up the red image, and I go. Why do I do that? It's almost like a protection of space at the entry of the door. Maybe it's because I don't want negative energy going into my house while I'm gone. Sometimes I do it just to keep the bugs out. Again, energy is in everything. So it doesn't matter if you can't see it. It's still energy. If you see it in your mind, it's energy. It's actually doing something. That's the cool part. Okay. When I come home, I just walk through the red. I don't do anything with the red. I just throw it up and then I leave. But when I come home, I will come through the door. I'll open it up. And I do have a blanket up here because it's freezing, so I put the blanket over the whole door at night. But I open up the door like this, and I look within the house, and I'm like, if there's any negative, stagnant, demonic energy in me or in this home, in the name of your Creator, I command you to leave, exit my stage right. If I happen to be standing like this, I'll say exit my stage left. But it's like, and then I just imagine that it's like I can feel it come in. It's like you can feel this wave of air go in, and it's like it moves to the top of every ceiling and to the bottom of every corner. It goes into occupied and unoccupied space, and it fills it with God's light. And then it takes anything that's not cool and it pulls it out of the house. Okay? All right. So that's what I do when I come home. All right, I'm getting my list here. I want to make sure I cover everything. Okay. All right, the next thing that I typically do once I get home is I will go to a sink. I will make the water cold, and I will wash my hands and my wrist in cold water. Cold water is fantastic at cutting energy ties that we form with other people and other things. It also is a really good way to cut the energy that you might have picked up when you were out. So if you're washing your wrist in cold water, what I usually say is I cut and disconnect from all etheric, soul, and energy ties. Ties that are not mine, meant for me, or meant for my highest good. And once I'm done, then I just dry my hands off, and that's how I disconnect from whatever I might have picked up when I was outside. Taking that a step further, another thing that I do, when I get in the shower, I usually will turn the water on and it's cold, and I'll put my hands in and I'll step my feet in before I get under the water, and I'll say that I'm disconnecting from everything my hands touched and everything my feet walked through that day. And that cold water running over my hands and on my feet, running over my feet, is how I mentally disconnect. And again, because I'm having the thought and the image in my mind, I know it's happening. I always feel so much better when I do these things. It's not like I'm just telling you randomly, do this and it doesn't do anything. No, I do this every day because it makes a huge impact on my ability to be able to function, because I pick up on everything, and the last thing I want to do is feel it when I'm at home. So I'm not kidding. I do this every day, and it always helps. Okay. So again, and you can do your own little versions. Maybe you say your own words. Maybe you let your angels and guides give you the words that work for you. but you're still doing the same kind of technique. I don't know. Maybe they give you a new technique. Okay. Okay, so that's about clearing. And then when we're talking about clearing the property, it's about clearing the property from geopathic disturbances. Geopathic disturbances would be under the ground, and it could be things like the way water is moving underground, magnetics that are underneath the ground. It could be the way minerals, fracking, all of that kind of stuff impacts the earth. And you're not removing it when you do a geopathic clearance of the property. What you're doing is harmonizing it so that whatever is sitting on top of that land is going to be in balance and harmony with what's going on under it. I don't know how that works. All I know is it does. I've done this so many times with people clearing property. And as soon as I clear the geopathic disturbances, even electrical stuff, things balance out better. And then when you're doing yourself, same thing. It's all about being able to, now here's the thing about clearing. Clearing is a way for you to remove the things that are keeping you from moving forward, or keeping you from seeing your opportunity, from having motivation. Healings are different. Healing is where you're actually going in and you are changing the vibration of the cells, the tissues, the muscles, the bones, in order to create a different vibration that moves into a state of healing. The clearing is to remove the stuff that's keeping you from wanting to heal. Make sense? A lot of it's usually emotional when we're doing clearings. Okay, now what I'm going to show you is a book that I learned a lot of my clearing techniques from. And if you really want to get serious and be able to clear yourself and clear your property, maybe at some point you're going to want to do that for other people, I highly suggest this book because it is phenomenal. All right, let's see. Jean Hainer, and that may be backwards, so I apologize, but this is what it looks like. It says it's called Clear Home, Clear Heart by Jean Hainer. It's Jeanhaner. Clear Home, Clear Heart. She goes through in this book every step. And again, you don't have to follow it step per step. It's just a matter of what resonates for you. But she explains the concept and what you're doing and why. Fantastic book. Okay. So that's about clearing. Let's talk about protection. Okay, so when you're protecting yourself, the idea is to use your thoughts to bring an energy into your etheric space, or what people would either call the luminous energy field or your aura. And the reason being is, again, is you don't want things coming in that don't belong there. You don't want things that impact you in a negative way or make you feel unlike yourself. And so that's the reason we would protect. I always say before you protect, ground. Because if you're not grounded, then protection's not even going to stick. So what I do in the mornings, I ground. And the way I do that is I say 0 ground. So I'm telling my chakra system to send impulses of energy from my physical body straight down to the core of the earth. And that's what 0 ground means. I'm going to the very center. Then I ask that energy to go straight up out of my head to 0 source. So I'm going straight up to what I call God. So 0 ground, 0 source, and then I do left, right, center balance. And that's how I ground. Because we are made up of duality in this earth plane. So the idea is to bring both sides to a center to bring harmony and unity and peace. Okay, so that's how I ground. Then when I'm protecting, I actually use words that implement a series of steps, because it's easier for me to use one word than to sit there and go through all these different steps. So I do like an invocation where I write down on a piece of paper, I want to create blah, 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 blah for me. And when I want to do that, I'm going to use the one word, and that word is this. The word that I unify, I just said it. The word that I use is unify. So I say everything from my earth star, which is below your feet. We have 7 major chakras attached to the physical body, but we have 12 chakras that are connected to us etherically, and the earth star is the bottom of it. So I say earth star to my 12th chakra, unify please. And I'm basically asking all of that energy to go from earth star all the way up to 12th chakra and unite. Then I imagine that energy expands to the width of my entire cabin. And as it's unifying throughout the entire cabin, it's almost like I'm seeing this light go all the way through my body, and then all the way through my cabin, and then I do it all the way through my property. So once I've got this big bubble effect of unification, then I actually turned it into a golden chamber, one that goes about 500 feet above and 500 feet below me, because I want to be encased all the way around. And I just use a golden chamber. I don't know why. I heard that from something one time, and I just kind of held on to it. But here's the important thing is, once I have this chamber around me, or this bubble, a shield, whatever you want to call it, I also, within my word unify, some of the things that I'm asking for is that all the energy that is now within that bubble is 5D or higher, because you want it to be in the highest state of consciousness that it can possibly hold. If you're in a 4D or 3D consciousness or energy vibration, you're going to have negative things that are still popping in and out. So I ask that the energy join that 5D or higher vibration. And I'm like, and if you don't want to join it, then leave. Easy as that. The other thing that I do is out beyond that chamber that I have, shield, bubble, I have mirrors. And I just imagine in my head that there is mirrors all the way around, and that the mirrors are facing out away from my cabin, because when energy is trying to come in, if it's not meant for your highest good, you want it to reflect back to where it's coming from. But here's the key. Reflect it back with love, because then that changes the vibration of it. That's just good karma. So what I do is I put the mirrors up, and then I say that they're faced away, and that anything that's trying to get in that's not meant for me or my highest good, it's reflected back to its own source, but with love. So every morning it's grounding, and then asking the earth star to the 12th chakra to unify. I expand it through my body with light. I then take that light and expand it through the cabin, and then through the property. And then I make sure that I am covered all the way around. And then I put the mirrors up. Other things that you can do is you can take that with you, like everywhere you go. Sometimes it's good to actually just imagine that you're taking that bubble, that shield, that chamber with you no matter where you go. The other thing that I was going to tell you is that sometimes it's helpful to even bring crystals into the protection, into the raising of the vibration. There's so many things that I want to say. I'm just like, I'll go back to that. So when I envision in the house, and again, it doesn't have to be in physical form. If you're thinking it, then you're manifesting it. So I think about selenite crystals, tourmaline, because it's good at grounding, rose quartz and amethyst for purity and love. And I imagine that they're growing underneath my entire cabin, that they are basically everywhere. And that energy expands all the way through my entire property, so that vibration of those crystals is actually impacting the vibration that I am standing on and living in. Those of you that are sensitive to energy, like right now, I'm already feeling it because I just spoke it into an existence, and I can just feel like my whole body, it's coming up through my legs, and I'm just like, oh wow, that feels so good. So yeah, again, it doesn't have to be in physical form. If you are thinking it, you are manifesting it. When I work on clearing people, and I would say you can do this for yourself, if you're feeling like, even though you've protected yourself and you come home and you've washed, in cold water, and you're still feeling like icky, sticky, stuck, or just not like yourself, the other thing that you can do is imagine that you're taking all of the elements of the earth in order to cleanse and clear, which is what you learn when you're doing the clearing, which is what I got from that book. All right. So you're using fire, water, wind, and sun. So what I'll do is I'll close my eyes and I'll tell myself I am bringing in the etheric elements of fire, water, wind, and sun in order to cleanse, purify, and nourish my entire existence, whether it be physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, etheric space. And I bring that in, and I actually tell myself I'm branding that into myself. Then I say I'm also branding in the vibration of crystals, and I'll think of specific crystals. And then you want to seal it up. When you seal something up, you lock it in. And a seal is an 8, so the infinity sign. And you want to do it 3 times. So when you do that, that's going to help seal you up and lock you into those higher vibrations. There is a spirit that just walked in the door. So, and I don't know how to pause this and make it start again. So I just have to tell this person that they have to go, because if they're trying to cross over, I do that tomorrow night at 6:30 p.m. Okay. Yeah, see. They come early sometimes. I do crossovers on Sundays, and it's Saturday of almost 6:30. So that's sometimes they're a day early. Okay, anyway. Okay, so yeah, that's what I do in order to kind of help myself when I'm doing the protecting and the clearing. All right, let's talk about alchemizing now. Okay, so alchemizing is when you are taking energy that is within you, and your idea is to bring it from a state of unbalance, disarray, pain, chaos, whatever you want to call it, and bringing it back to a state of love. Bringing it back to a place where it's resolved. Okay? And this is huge. In my opinion, this is one of the most important things that I learned this year, is how to alchemize energy. because everything is always looking to either restore, heal, shift, change somehow, some way. So when you're alchemizing something, say you have a phobia, okay? I'm just giving you an example. Say you have a fear of something. When you're alchemizing it, you allow yourself to sit in the presence of whatever that fear is. It doesn't mean you stuff it down or ignore it or numb it with something physical. You actually let yourself sit with it and experience it and feel it in the moment. So you pull it in, you call it out, because you're probably feeling it inside. So you call it forth and call it out, and you go, I am acknowledging that this is how I feel, that this is what's bothering me. And I am asking that from the moment it ever began, maybe that was in a past life, maybe it was in this lifetime when you were young, maybe it was just 5 days ago. It doesn't matter. But you're asking it to go all the way back to the time that it began to be an issue. When did it root into being a problem? And you're asking it to go all the way back to whatever that beginning was. And you're asking it to alchemize back to love. And what you do as you say those words, you're asking it to alchemize back to love. And you allow it to call forth, and you pull it into your heart center where there is nothing but love that you put in there. And then you see it be enveloped by that love. I use visuals and colors when I do this. So I would take the fear and I would bring it into my heart where there's just pink. And pink is my divine love color. And it's almost like it just gets immersed in pink. And then I take it from there and I push it into gold. Because when it goes to gold, it's going back to Creator, to God, to Source. And that's alchemizing it. Being sensitive, I feel that process take place. I know that it's worked because I can feel my body shift and change after it happens. But that's how you alchemize. So if it's a fear of something, let yourself call it forward, pull it into your heart where you have nothing but love for it, and then as you surround it with that, give it back to God, Source, Creator. And you can use whatever some people may use visualizations like putting it in a basketball and shooting it through a hoop where the actual hoop is God, you know. Some people may see it like a rock that they're throwing into a waterfall and then it falls down into a pool that is God. Use whatever images resonate with you, and know that there's no way to do it wrong. You're simply asking for something to get back to its original form. And when you're asking it to go all the way back to where it began, you're going across timelines. That's where you're probably even going into lineage, because it may not have stemmed from, this is going a little deeper, it may not actually stem from you. It could be something that you picked up from 3 great grandmas ago, that they are the one that started it, and it's been going through the lineage, through the DNA. Yes, that can happen. It's crazy, but yes. And so it's something that is actually manifesting because it's looking for resolution. If those great grandmas couldn't heal it and find resolution, then it's going to get passed down for the next generation to try to solve it. Yeah. Happy to explain that in great detail if you want to do a consult and actually learn more about that. It's super interesting. But anyway, so that's what it means to alchemize. I know that there are a few of you that I was talking about taking things and alchemizing it. And it usually has to do with a fear that you have, an imbalance that you have, a pain or a discomfort that you have. It doesn't matter what it is. It can all be alchemized back to a space of love. Know that if it's pain, while you're alchemizing it, you're still going to feel that pain. If it's an emotion, you're really going to feel that emotion as it's being alchemized. But once it's been alchemized, it neutralizes and it doesn't come back. It doesn't mean that the memory or the thought of something isn't there, but how you react to it is completely different. That's where the resolution comes in. Okay. Okay, I think the last thing that I was going to talk to you about is those of you that I've been telling that need to really be working on healing yourself, taking on your own responsibility for working within your own body and helping you heal. I am suggesting that you go online. You can go into like Barnes and Noble, and you're going to look up a book by William Lee Rand. So William Lee, L-E-E, Rand, R-A-N-D. It's called Reiki, R-E-I-K-I, The Healing Touch. And this is what it looks like. Reiki, The Healing Touch, William Lee Rand. Okay? This is a workbook. It basically, and I'm not telling you that you have to, here's the thing about this book. Anyone can order and buy it, and it's about $30 to $35. Anyone can order this book. You don't have to go through Reiki classes to be able to order this book, okay? It's not giving you anything in this book that you're not meant to have, unless you actually are going through the training. But it gives you all the information that they teach their practitioners. And it is very informative. It shows you places where you can put your hands as you're learning how to heal yourself. It teaches you how to do that on other people if you ever decide you want to do that. It teaches you where's the energy coming from source. How is it moving through you? Where is it moving through you? What could it possibly be affecting? That book is jam-packed, filled with amazing information, techniques, tools, steps. Okay? So if you are interested in healing, that book will give you so much information in order for you to help train yourself in getting comfortable with healing. If you have a desire after going through this book that you want to become a Reiki practitioner, there's 3 steps. There's 3 attunements that take place. And I am happy. I am a Reiki master. I don't classify myself online like that. Because I use so many different types of healing techniques, but I do have a Reiki Master certification that if you want to attune to any of those, don't hesitate to let me know. I'm happy to do that for you. Prices randomly change, but usually around $100 for each attunement. But I really encourage you to look at that book and read it, because it is so helpful in understanding how to adopt being a healer into your life. Okay? It teaches you how to do, because the thing is all of this, I'm doing this because I want you to work on yourself. You are worthy, you are capable, it is time. And when you do this, you will begin to feel so much better. And then at some point, maybe you're going to feel like sharing it with other people and working on other people, but it begins with you. because it's just like that old saying, you can't love someone else until you love yourself. Well, you don't understand the full concept of healing someone else unless you understand what it's like to heal you. That's why self-love, self-practice is crucial. I would never put myself out there to heal other people if I was not daily ritual working on me. Because when I work on me, I get an understanding on what it feels like, what all the different sensations are, so that when I'm working on someone else, I can be like, oh yeah, I know exactly what that means. That makes total sense. And then it also helps me to explain it to them because I know what it feels like too. So, okay, so that's it. That's what I was wanting to talk to you about. Let me make sure I got everything that I wrote down. I think so. Okay, so I hope that this video is helpful for you guys. I hope that you will take this into your mind, into your heart, into your soul, and let yourself marinate with it. And again, whatever you feel resonated, whatever your intention, whatever your angels and guides are directing you to, follow it. It may be just like one of the things that I mentioned today, and that's where you start. You know, maybe it's all of it. I don't know. I am not here to push you. I'm here to encourage you that these things are options and available, and you can do it. I know you can. I totally believe in you because they're telling me I can believe in you, and they never lie. So there you go. Okay. All right. If you have questions, don't hesitate to email me or text me. I'm happy to share. And yeah, the only thing I ask is don't share this video link with random other people. I'm keeping this video link unlisted so that only you have access to it, because my spirit guides are telling me that you guys are the ones that need this video. And then if I meet other people, or if you tell me about somebody else, I can check in with their guides and see if it's something that's meant for them, and I'm happy to send them the link. But I would rather it come from me than come from you, so I can make sure their spirit guides are on board. Okay, giving you all kinds of virtual hugs and wishing you the best. All right, love, light, and smiles, everybody. Take care. Bye.